see about the program validation and testing. So this is a very important topic of our unit 3. So what is program validation and testing? So program validation and testing is to check the correctness of our program, whether our program works properly without any bugs. So why we are studying about the program validation and testing to know the role of validation in the overall design methodology. So whenever you design a very complex system, testing is very important to check all the bugs in the program. And this is a very challenging aspect of real-time programming and embedding the programming inside the hardware. Next thing, there are many type of tests. And identifying the large fraction of existing bug is very important, and which test for which program will provide a will able to find large number of bugs. That knowledge we have to get from the program validation and testing. And for example, if a testing program software tester is testing with a one criteria in his mind, at that time he will ignore all other aspects of the program, and again that is a drawback of software testing. Okay, so while testing a software, we have to consider all the criterias during the software testing. And the main important questions in that software testing is how much testing is enough, when we can stop the testing, why we have to stop the testing, since checking all the possible combinations of input is impossible, since there will be thousand lakhs of inputs for a embedded program, since it is designed as a infinite loop, and we are designed for variety of ranges. So we have to know for which are the important points to test, and which are the important test vectors where if you miss it, the program will end in the problem. So we cannot implement an infinite number of tests. So that we have to know when we have to stop the testing. Again, the major contribution of software testing is standards that make sense. So under software testing, there are many standards for this type of program. The standards will be used, but no standard guarantees that we can find all the bugs of a program. So again, going towards the standard is also not guaranteed. So we have to find some efficient tester to find the bugs. So reasonable amount of testing in reasonable amount of time will give a good result. Why this reasonable amount of time? Since if you take a long time in the testing area, for example, if you take 1 month, another product will be launched in the market. So the testing time is shortened in types of software programming or in the embedded programming. So there are two major types of software testing. One is black box testing, other is the clear box testing. Black box testing means uh, the test without looking the internal structure of the program. You don't know the internal structure of the program, but we will give some random input and check it. Then we say that as a black box method. Clear box or white box method is we know the program structure. By the knowledge of the program structure, we are testing the program. It is called as clear box method. And clear box testing, these are the important thing. The testing path of execution is known to us, and we are choosing which path to be tested, and to choose that path we will choose the suitable input, and we will choose for a suitable branch, and input is chosen from the control variables and the data variables. So here we know the execution method, we know which path we are going to check, and in that path we figure which input will reach that path we know, and input depends on which control variables and data variables we know. After this we will go for a testing called as clear box testing. And for this clear box testing, the tool is control and data flow graph. So previously we have studied about the control and data flow graph CDFG. So that is the tool for this clear box testing. Second thing, the test the program execution and exercise both with the control and data operation. So we check both control variables, controlling operations plus data operations here. That is the one plus point of clear box testing. Next thing, three criteria or three things in the test is the control variables. We have to assign some input for the control variables. Second thing, after that we have to test the program and we have to execute the program and we have to take the output and examine whether the output is correct or not. So in clear box testing, three things. One is for control variables, we'll assign the input, execute the program and check whether the output is correct or not. And very interesting thing of clear box testing is drudgery. What is drudgery is? Actually, drudgery is called as debugging code, and this is based on artificial intelligence hybrid tool to fix the bugs and cut the debugging time. So, as we all know that artificial intelligence, it will think like a human brain, so that it will fix many bugs in a shorter duration. So drudgery is a important thing, and large number of tests is done in short time. That is the advantage of it. And to write the debugging code or drudgery, we have to have a good program design. So if we have a good program design only, we can write the drudgery and we can control and for a simplified controllability and observability. So here we are going to do two types of analysis. One is the control data flow graph analysis. Other is the data flow graph analysis. This is with respect to control variables. So here, how does it make sense to exercise every path? So in a program, we have all the paths. Can we check all the paths? No for most of the programs. The answer is actually no for most of the programs, since there are infinite number of loops there and sorry, infinite number of executions, and we have more while loop. Most of the embedded program of infinite loop program. Okay, so we'll start with the while loop. Means it is an infinite loop. When the current is on, the program will work fully, so it doesn't guarantee the termination. So sense of executing every path is difficult, but we can choose the critical path where we have to test it. Okay, how to choose the path is, we have to choose the path such that each and every statement is executed once, and all the direction, all the branches are at least executed once. Like that we have to choose the path. And this is an example control flow graph. Okay, so in this graph, how much paths are there? So by these two conditions, executing every statement at least once, execute every direction of your branch at least once. By these two, if you check how much path will satisfy these two conditions, is only two paths. So I can give two test vectors and check these two paths so that it will be satisfied. So that is one thing of checking with the help of the control flow graph. Second question is, how do we choose a set of paths that adequate and covers the program behavior? So that is by graph theory. So under graph theory, we have two things. One is the incident matrix, other is the basic path. Okay, to choose the set of paths, we go for graph theory, and these two things, incident matrix and basic path, helps us to find the how much paths, set of paths, whether we have covered the enough number of paths. And we have a cyclomatic complexity under this graphical theory. What is the cyclomatic complexity is? This is given by the equation m is equal to e minus n plus 2p. What is e is number of edges of the flow graph, n is the number of nodes, p is the number of components in the graph, m is the computation or by the count the number of binary decisions in the flow graph, adding the one. So binary decisions means how much what is a binary decisions, ones and zeros, how much you have to execute. So that we have this calculated by the letter capital M. And for the same control flow graph, if we examine what is E is number of edge in the flow graph. So can we calculate the edges? So if we calculate the edges, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How much edges are there? 8 edges. So which I left it? 6. Here 1, 7. And we will have a here on exist. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 edges. So number of nodes are the end of the arrow. So we saw that is 6 arrows we have end of. Other as P is the number of components in the graph. Number of components is we have only 2 parts, so that is 2. So we can calculate M. M is equal to E minus N plus 2P. So by that calculation is 4. So 4 is the number of binary decisions, count of the binary decisions. Okay. And by the binary decisions, only 3 existing paths in the graph. So we can know the conservative boundary of this control flow graph. And in control flow graph testing, it is the condition is